Hi everyone, I am Elisabeth, the author of the book The Soul Kit and your soul guru. And I want to talk to somebody today who knows about the body and the soul, but I want to talk to her more about the body today. My very good friend Caroline Evans, who is a herbalist and also a naturopath and a nutritional consultant, and an iridologist. Now I have said it right. So welcome, Caroline. Thank you very much for being with me today.
Yes, thank you for having me. Really great to be here and to astrally travel into Cyprus. I mean, what a blessing that is. I love it. Feeling the sun on my skin as we're speaking.
We have very nice weather. I was out this morning and it's kind of 22 degrees still, which is not good. We should have some rain, but that's another story.
It's all good. It's all good. Yes.
So what I want to talk to you about is, I don't want to talk to you about the pandemics, but the effect of the pandemic, the way people feel. I want you to tell us a little bit about what we can do to strengthen our immune system during this time.
Sure. Absolutely. I mean, this really is the key at the moment is, yes, strengthening our immune system, because I mean, there's been a lot of research from the herbalist point of view that herbalists have been on the front line during this whole crisis. Chinese herbalists were in Wuhan, Western herbalists were in Wuhan, Chinese herbalists and Western herbalists went into Italy in the early days to see what was working with patients and how they could remedy this and how they could make people better. And they have found a number of herbs that are directly effective for people with COVID, which is amazing. I mean, yes, they're different strains, but these herbs are still working on the different strains. It makes no difference. It's quite amazing how they are working. And some of those herbs are astralaga, some of them are thyme, licorice, they're really turmeric. These are really amazing herbs that are going in there and really, really turning things around for people. So they don't have to have the long COVID, which we're hearing a lot about these days. But the real key with dealing with any form of pandemic, especially in this time, is boosting your own innate immune system. I mean, that is really the key. It's like we can't really control a virus. I mean, you know, despite what the politicians might tell us, we actually can't, because these things exist. They've always existed for time, millennia. But what's also existed is our innate ability to be able to deal with it. And that comes from, you know, how we are in our lifestyles. You know, I mean, there's a whole wave of natural upbringing. You know, children are like not literally eating dirt, but they are being allowed to play, you know, with outside, you know, and this type of thing. Whereas there's a lot of over hygiene that we've had, you know, these days, over sterilization, which is making our body totally overreact when we come in contact with any form of virus, any form of disorder. So, but on a herbal front, there is so much you can do to prevent these things happening to you, or if you get them, to get over them quicker, which is great. So a few of the herbs I've just noted, I can really go to town with herbs. There's like 3,600 I could just choose from, you know, but we'll say right now, echinacea. Echinacea is a fabulous, we've got echinacea here. Echinacea is a fabulous one as a preventative. Yeah, you just take things like, literally, I have things in a pipette drop, just literally take a couple of squirts a day. It's fabulous, or would be a teaspoon a day. And that's just like kind of your immune boosting preventative. It's fantastic. Another one, which is also great for children, is elderberry. Elderberry is really excellent. And it's quite funny. I was looking around at the beginning of the pandemic, and I was looking around in the hedgerows, and I'm thinking, nature is producing what we need to get through this. It always does, you know. I mean, you look in the springtime, it's producing cleansing herbs, because it's time to clear your body of all the Christmas concoctions you've been putting into your belly. And, you know, that's a good time to spring clean. And then it's also giving us the strengthening, nourishing, vitamin C boosting herbs in the winter time, where we've got the rose hips and the hawthorns and all these vitamin C, blackberries, etc., all growing in the hedgerows, ready for us to see through the winter. So vitamin C, there it goes, another one. I mean, things like hibiscus, rosehip are full of vitamin C. I mean, even your lemon is just amazing. Other major immune boosters are things like thyme. Thyme is phenomenal. I think I just mentioned that before. And lastly, an amazing one, not so popular in Cyprus, but I think in Tsatsiki you get it, is garlic. Absolutely, garlic is a number one. And herbalists, we always tend to say that everything that does anything good is a herb. So we kind of like always coin that. But yeah, garlic has got to be a number one. So I would say that there are loads of things to prevent. Of course, when and if you did get coronavirus, and I've worked with many patients now, different stages of COVID-19, And it depends on the stages as to how you treat it, but you really are boosting people. You're helping the body to deal with it. So for example, we often will shy away from letting the body have a fever, but a fever is the body's natural way of purging the system, of getting it out. So obviously you don't want the body to go over 42 degrees, because that's, you know, a bit of a concern. But even up to 42 degrees centigrade, the body can start to deal with things like cancers. It's quite amazing. The body has this innate ability to heal, and herbal medicine helps the body to naturally deal with that. So by taking herbs, you might still get corona, but you're not going to be suffering with long corona. You're going to be suffering with a very short version, and you'll probably have turned it around within a matter of a couple of weeks, or maybe even a couple of days, depending on how quick we are and how boosted you are to begin with. So there's so much we can do from a herbal point of view. And I mean, most importantly as well, really, for immunity, is dealing with the fear that absolutely just knocks people sideways, and that throws your innate immunity out anyway. So that's another huge issue in its own right.
Yeah, that was my next question about
Great.
how do we deal with fear? How do we deal with existential fears, really, or also just anxiety? Even if there is no fear of losing your existence, but it's this anxiety. How much longer is this going to go? What's going to happen? What can you recommend there? What is good for anxiety and fear?
So many herbs for this, but yeah, absolutely. It's that people are not allowed to make plans. It's like, you know, some people have their whole year planned. You know, me, I'm an Aquarian, I have my whole 20 years planned. You know, it's like, okay, that's not going to work anymore. So let's just come down to the present. I'm finding there's, as you will be too, I find there's so many lifestyle issues we're having to put into place with patients, with clients, because just to help them to stay here, because, you know, things like the news is just going to spin you off. I know if I watch the news, it just sends me off to a different planet. It's like, it doesn't help me in any way, shape or form. So I turn off the TV. You know, sometimes I need to take the shoes off and stand on the grass as well, just to ground me. Very good for the electrolytes balance there, to get balanced. But yeah, I also take my herbs, and one I take is, I've got a lovely adrenal formula which involves licorice and a wonderful herb. I think this is the herb of our time. It's like our coronavirus herb. It's our pandemic herb, it's got to be, which is ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is known as Indian ginseng, and it allows and it assists the adrenals to combat the effects of stress. It is absolutely phenomenal herb. It really does just kind of like allows that nourishing one. And I have experience from using this years ago when I burnt out from trying to do too much in the herb garden and traveling to the UK every month to become a herbalist. I found out firsthand how magical ashwagandha is. I mean, right now, a lot of my patients are on ashwagandha to help them cope with this challenging time. Like I said, licorice, small children around. Oats is a wonderful one. Now, oats, Avena sativa is a herb, but of course you can have that in a form of warm porridge. I mean, it's so good and nutritious. It's also incredibly balancing for your mental health. It has a calmative effect on the entire body. Other herbs you can use, essential oils as well. Lavender is great. Rose is so nourishing. Chamomile as well. And chamomile is really good. A lot of people are asking me, what can I give to my children? Because children are really feeling this, you know, like they are really like, what's going on? I'm not seeing my friends, or if I am, they've got a mask, I can't hear them. You know, it's quite stressful on every single person. And chamomile is incredibly good for children of all ages, and for us too. But it's really good. Like, you know, I have a baby right now, and I'll give her chamomile every day anyway, just to keep everything calm. You know, we want a sleeping baby, right? But it's always helpful when you go to work. But yeah, chamomile is great. And another great one you have a lot in Cyprus, and even my one here is still it's got fresh leaves on it, and that's passion flower, which is a passiflora, and that is an amazingly calmative herb. Very good for those that their anxiety will wake them up in the middle of the night with like kind of a panic attack, and they find it hard to go back to sleep. That's where passion flower will come back to you. So there's quite a few there. Oh, we have a little person.
He's just smashed Yoda's water.
Oh, this is what we do. So Tinky is our baby, otherwise known as Isabel, and she smashed Yoda is our cat and the water bowl. So yeah, life goes on. I mean, who needs a pandemic? We've got enough to deal with.
Yoda needs chamomile.
She definitely does. So does the baby. Baby nap chamomile.
That's wonderful. Do you think we can continue? Do you have another?
Of course.
All
Yeah,
right.
please, they're fine. I think panic over is just
Excellent. That's what I like. You're a cool mom.
Gotta be 3 children. Oh yeah.
I just want to ask one last question, one last subject, because I'm, celebrated a big birthday, and I'm feeling really good, and I want to continue feeling good.
Amazing, yes.
I want your best take and your best secrets on what did we call it? Growing gracefully?
Yes, we were talking about growing gracefully. Yes,
what can we do to grow gracefully?
Grow gracefully and to stand in your fully empowered goddess self, because that is what happens. You become the wise one, and it is a very honorable place. I mean, back in the day, we'd sit with our tribe and we would listen to the wise ones. So it's a time where I'm really pleased that you do what you do, and also with what you do with Global Women, is because it's so important for you to pass your knowledge on. This is the time. If not now, when? You know what I mean? But it is really now is the time. But from herbal point of view, there are a lot. I mean, really, herbs are fabulous. Number one, look after your adrenals. That's a number one, because, adrenals age us. The Chinese say that you are born with a certain amount of what they call Jin essence. And that Jin essence is like your kind of life force. And you can age if you don't look after your kidney Jin, which is basically, and the adrenals sit on top of the kidneys. They're talking about adrenals, basically. So it is that. So I'm talking about herbs like to take internally, things like your ashwagandhas. Amazing. Every woman should be on ashwagandha. Another one is maca. I mean, that really is great for libido as well. It's really, really nourishing as well, but it's also very feminine. It keeps you in touch with your feminine goddess self. Also, a really great little trick I learned is to use coconut oil as a cleanser. It is amazing. It's so simple. Like, forget all of these products. Just coconut oil is so good for cleansing and nourishing the skin, the whole body, really. I mean, in Cyprus, you have olive oil. It's just magic. And there's also some people in the Trudos in Cyprus who are producing olive oil with absolutely the most amount of phenols ever, globally wise. So it is so therapeutic. So even 1 teaspoon of that is going to be the most amazing antioxidant for you. So other antioxidants, of course, you've got olives to eat in abundance. Olive leaf tea, drink that. It's amazing. Green tea, great, but I'm not a greatest fan of green tea, because oftentimes we're trying to get people away from caffeine, and it's not helping the adrenals to have caffeine, even in the form of green tea. So we want to move away from that, and we want to have more your olive leaves and these types of things. Frankincense, put that on your skin, and rose. Frankincense is the number one nourisher for the skin. Rose is a number one too. What else would I say? And water. It shows on our skin how we, you can tell you're drinking water. And I love with your body boards, you're in shape. It's great.
Well, I don't drink that.
You don't drink the sea.
I fell off the board and my pride was hurt, but it's okay. It was cold.
Good. It's all good. Bless you. But so basically, look after your adrenals is the main thing. I would say that is your absolute adrenal nourishing. Your licorices, your ashwagandhas really nourish your adrenals. Even your other ginsengs like Eleutherococcus, which is Siberian ginseng. These types of ones, they're kind of like the powerhouse herbs, but they're really supportive and nourishing of the adrenals. Maca as well too. They're really go in there and do that, and also keep your liver clean. Absolutely, keep your liver clean. We should be doing some form of a liver cleanse twice a year, really, which can be as simple as just taking more lemon, just to go on a short vegan juice fast. I mean, that can be great for a number of days. And really, ideally, you get over day 5, because day 4 is when the toxins are elevated. Day 5, you start to feel a bit more human again. And generally, I would try to do it for 10 days. Is a great one. Just twice a year, you'll just feel you take the excess and you give yourself the extra energy. But carry on regardless. And it's
wonderful. This is wonderful. And move. That's my secret is, or my personal favorite thing is move. Just keep moving. Walk, paddle, hike. So listen, this has been very, very informative. I'm very grateful to you for doing this. And I want to wish you a beautiful 2021, no matter what's going to happen. We are and always will be in good spirits. I'm sending you lots of love to Wales.
Bless you.
Talk soon. Bye-bye.